One of the things you'll go to get to another lake. It appears that it's a little shallow.
Smells like Tootsie Rolls in here.
That ain't a Tootsie Roll, you're just looking at my shorts. If it don't get no shallower, I think we're okay. But if it does, frogfish. Right after Alan puts the camera down. Oh, frog feet. That guy come up and ate it in about a foot of water. See ya, buddy. There he is. Oh, lost him. He's a little guy. He's a little gomper. This fellow was right on the point of the pads where he was supposed to be. It was like he read the book. He's a pretty little fish. Nice coloration. Sniff, sniff. That's nice. See a bump? Number 16. 11 keepers. We're on a little different lake right now. It's a neighboring lake of where we started this morning. We had to fish through that little bridge you seen us go through earlier. That was interesting. We gotta go back through it to get on the ramp tonight. Hey, that's a better fish, Al. There you go, buddy. Is that your fifth keeper?
Yes, it is.
Woo! Finally got your limit. Right on, buddy. Had to go out and catch him in 14 or 15 foot of water, but
Keep for pictures later?
sure. Alan got, yeah. How many you got right now?
11.
I've got 19 with a dozen keepers. Yeah, that's fun.
For the record, I still have the biggest fish, so there you go.
Oh, that's a decent one there. Oh, I seen your worm slide up, and I thought he broke you off. That would be really close to going. It's hard to tell. It's one you'd have to bump for sure. Good job, dude.
Guess what? 12th fish of the day. Dad has 20. So that's I can't do math. 32 fish altogether. So pretty good day, I would reckon. These fish got some teeth. They'd be hurting. We're doing a hurting on them.
Maybe I should just ride all the way home here. That'd be kind of interesting. Probably not legal, but interesting. Very well done, young man. Very well done. Good Sunday evening, everybody. We are on our way back from Marshall County. Been up to fish some lakes that we hadn't been on ever before, and it turned out to be a really good day. However, didn't quite start out that way. It started out with quite a bit of frustration, and got to our location. Alan had his head stuck between the seat and the side pillar of the truck. He'd fallen asleep, and his head drifted back further and further between the side headrest of the truck and the side pillar. So when I woke him up and we got to the ramp, he was like, "I can't move, my head's stuck." So he had to lay his seat back a little bit more to get it unwedged. So that was kind of funny, but once we got out on the water, the boat wouldn't start at the ramp. I had to mess with it. Ended up working on it for about half an hour. The first hour and a half that we were on the water was pretty frustrating. The frustrating part was, I get the cowling put back on the motor, get the boat finally to start after messing with it for half an hour. And then I go up and grab a rod, and my first cast I wrap it around a tree. So I go up there and blow it out with the trolling motor so I can get my pop bar back. Go back out. The very next cast, I cast right in the middle of a weed bed and load her up. About 6 casts later, I was frustrated. I couldn't hit my spots. I couldn't skip under a dock to save my hide. Just struggling with it for whatever reason. And to top it all off with the icing on the cake, so to speak, as I make a cast, I got my finger like that after I released the line, and a bird pooped right between where my hand and the rod meet. I'm like, he had to have like a laser guided turd to get that sucker landed right there, and it just went down my whole rod handle. And before I could think about it, I was like, oh man, that's gross, and I flipped my hand off and I wiped it on my pants.
On his black sweatpants.
That was great. We just kind of had to take a minute and stop and collect ourselves and go, you know what? What are we really doing this for? And why are we frustrated about something that we love to do? So once we kind of got collected, really me getting collected, Alan was doing okay. I think he was just bumming because I was having a rough morning. So once I pulled my head out of whatever orifice I had it inserted into, we got back to what we were out there for, and it was, just enjoying each other's company and our time outdoors. And then we started catching some fish, and our day started to brighten, and we did way better than I would have ever imagined. On a day like this, there's not been a cloud in the sky all day. The barometric pressure has been over 30.5 all day, and for those of you who are not familiar with the way that affects fish, it's usually pretty negative. And the other thing was we had an east wind. I mean, it changed around a lot in the morning, but it was primarily something with an east in it all day. 15, 20 miles an hour. There was times it slacked off a little bit, but for the most part, it was a steady blow out of the east. And honestly, we straight up caught fish today. So we disproved that theory of wind from the east, fish bite the least. So today was 33. Turning, going back into the sunshine. We were driving into it, going to the lake, driving into it, going home. So it's been a full day. But yeah. So what worked, Alan? What worked? What didn't? I guess today.
So today what worked for us was mainly just throwing a wacky worm off the brakes and just dragging it up the hill. And so
What's that mean? For those that don't know what dragging it up the hill means.
dragging it up the hill is basically there'd be a break, there'd be a weed clump, and then a drop down from like say 6 foot to 18 foot. And so you'd throw it into the deep, and then you'd slowly drag it back up, and then they're usually sitting off the break, and then they eat it.
Yep. And it seemed like as soon as you'd start feeling weeds, where the weeds started to grow, they were sitting right there in that 10 to 14 foot line. All right. So what didn't work? What other things did we do that were not productive?
Tried a couple top waters, like tried using the pop R. Early in the morning, it didn't work at all. We tried the fluke, which we didn't get nothing going on that. And we also used the frog, which that only caught 2 on.
And I threw the frog for probably 2 or 3 hours longer than I should have, but I just love catching fish on a frog, man. It turns my crank. No, I really do. I love catching fish on a frog. It's fun. We went up in some canals that, the fish just weren't there. We'd been catching them out on the breaks, and we hadn't checked the lake out. I wanted to see what it's like, and we discovered some stuff out there that, that place is probably phenomenal in the springtime when the fish are getting ready to spawn, or, right after the ice first comes off and you get that water in the 40-some degree range where the rattle trap bite gets hot. There's some canals in there that are 4 or 5 foot deep, and there's probably some weed lines that grow early. It's probably just a rip, man. You get on a trap bite there, it'd be really fun. So we're gonna keep that in mind for next spring. Yeah, we're gonna have some more videos coming at you after this one. Try to space them out once every week. We can have something like that. Whatever we have time to get our editing done is what's going to determine that. Yeah. But if you guys got any questions or comments, throw them at us. We'll answer what we can and what we know, and what we don't, we'll tell you that we're ignorant about the topic. All right, you guys take care of yourselves. We'll see you next time on the water.